You're walking through your living room, the same room you've crossed 10,000 times. Your hip clips the corner of the coffee table. Before the pain even lands, before you can think a single thought, your mouth is already moving. Oh, sorry. You just said sorry to a table. A table with no ears, no feelings, no idea you exist. And nobody was watching. There was no one to be polite for. You did it alone, in an empty room, to a piece of wood. So why does a grown adult who knows for a fact that furniture isn't alive say sorry to a chair? Stick with me, because the answer is stranger and kinder than you'd guess. The easy answer is habit. You say sorry 100 times a day, so it slips out on its own. That's true, and it explains nothing. Habits don't fire at random. You don't apologize when you sit down or open the fridge or tie your shoe. This one is oddly specific. It only shows up when you bump into something. Which means that in that split second, your brain handled a collision with a table the same way it handles a collision with a person. So the real question isn't why you have the habit, it's why your brain mistook a table for someone you owed an apology to. To get there, we have to look at the busiest, most paranoid system in your whole mind. You find people who aren't there. You do it every day without noticing. You see a face in a wall socket, in the front of a car, in the moon. 2 dots and a line, and your brain insists that's a face looking back at you. Psychologists call this hyperactive agency detection. Underneath everything you do, your brain runs one quiet question. Is that a thing, or is that a someone? Is that rustle in the grass the wind, or a someone? Is that shape in the dark a coat on a chair, or a someone? And your brain is built to over-guess. It assumes someone even when there's no one there. Evolution did that math for you. Picture an ancestor who hears a bush rustle. Guess just the wind when it's a leopard and you're gone. Guess leopard when it's the wind and you feel silly for half a second. So the brains that made it down to you were the twitchy ones that saw a someone behind everything. You're running that brain right now, and it never switched off. When your body slams into something sudden and solid, that ancient system fires first and shouts, "Someone's there!" And "Someone's there" arrives with a script already attached. It runs deeper than evolution. Because there was a stretch of your life when you genuinely believed the table was alive. When you were small, you thought everything was alive. The sun followed you on purpose. Your toys had feelings, hurt the wall, and the wall hurt back. Jean Piaget gave this a name: animism. Young kids don't separate the living from the non-living. To a 4-year-old, the whole world is full of little minds. And you didn't grow out of it so much as grow a lid over it. As your logical brain matured, it learned to override the animism and tell you the chair isn't alive. The wiring underneath never got deleted. It went quiet and it got supervised. So what happens the instant you stub your hip? When surprise knocks your logical brain offline for half a second. The supervisor blinks. The 4-year-old underneath, the one who still knows everything has feelings, gets to speak first. So far, this sounds like you apologize because some primitive corner of you mistakes the table for a person. There's a turn coming, though, and most people walk right past it. The apology isn't aimed at the table. It's aimed at you. Watch what actually happens. You're moving through your day feeling like a careful, competent, decent person. Then, bonk, a jolt, surprise, a flash of, I did something wrong, even with nobody around to judge you. Saying sorry is the fastest tool your brain owns for making that feeling go away. It works less as a message to the table and more as a reset button for you. It discharges the jolt and hands you back the sense that you're still careful, still decent, still in control of your own living room. That's why you do it alone. That's why you do it knowing full well it's ridiculous. The apology points inward. It's a small act of self-soothing, wearing the costume of politeness. You weren't comforting the table at all. You were comforting yourself. And it goes bigger than your living room. You probably think this is your own private little quirk. It isn't. Whole cultures have built it into how they see the world. In Japan, there's an old Shinto idea that objects can carry a kind of spirit. Even a worn-out sewing needle. There's a yearly memorial where people bring their broken needles and lay them to rest in a block of soft tofu, thanking them for years of work. It isn't a joke to them, and it isn't childish. It's gratitude pointed at a thing. You felt a smaller version of this. Maybe a car you were a little sad to sell, or a mug you'd be oddly upset to break. Marie Kondo built an empire on a single instruction. Hold each object you're letting go of and thank it before you say goodbye. Millions of people did it, and it worked. Because it felt right. So your sorry to the coffee table isn't some bug your culture forgot to delete. It's a tiny version of something humans reach for everywhere. We move through the world treating it like it's full of things worth being decent to. Put it together. When you say sorry to a chair, an old survival alarm mistakes the bump for a someone, while underneath it, the 4-year-old who never stopped believing the world is alive speaks up, and the whole reflex doubles as a way to keep yourself steady. That combination reveals something kind of wonderful. Your brain's default setting is social. Being considerate isn't a mode you switch on when other people walk in. It runs all the time, in the background, wired so deep that it spills out onto chairs and door frames and the corner of the bed. Most people think apologizing to furniture means they're a little bit silly. It means close to the opposite. Your capacity for empathy is so strong and so automatic that it doesn't even stop to check whether the other thing is real. You're kind before you've decided to be. Kind to things that can't possibly know it. So the next time you whack your shin on the coffee table and mutter, sorry, to a slab of wood, don't cringe. That tiny reflex is one of the most human things you do. I'm Dr. Peanut, and this is Nutcase Psychology, where we dig into the strange little things your brain does when it thinks nobody's looking. If you've ever said sorry to a chair, subscribe. This whole channel is basically a running list of things you didn't realize everyone else does too. Next time, why you say ow before it even hurts. Your brain is keeping a secret about pain, and it's weirder than you'd think. See you then.